Ladies and gentlemen, Mollusk here, welcome back to the Northern Wastes. And as the beast herd frolics on to destination unknown, we come across yet another Chaos Horde. This one is a bit of an unorthodox alliance between demons and warriors. That's right, Tigress is back. We've been trying to arrange a game since before Christmas, and finally it's happened. Terrain is forest, impassable rock things, hills which block line of sight, river, dangerous terrain, more impassable terrain. I won the roll for deployment and made my opponent set up first. I think he put down this unit of warriors and I deployed my whole army. It's pretty much the same as the last one I took, apart from I've dropped the wizard and stuck in a load of totems. From the left we have Polkan lurking behind this tower tree thing. He's got his hunting spear and he's a little bit more protected with a 3-up, 6-up save. In front of my lines I have these sideways parked chariots, which gets me just a little bit of extra distance up the board, and they're there to parade in front of my opponent's lines and goad them into charges that will expose their flanks to my Minotaurs, who are just going to be slowly strolling up behind them as angrily as they possibly can. In reserve I've got 2 units of 25 Longhorns, one of them has the Beast Banner. Tigress has set up his little Screamer unit on the flanks. I don't know what they're called now, they Sky Rays or something. In the forest we've got a Demon Prince, next to that some Flamers, and they hurt, let me tell you. Then some Warriors with his General and his Sorcerer. Unit of Horrors with a BSB and a Herald or whatever it is. More Warriors and a Flaming Chariot. And Polkan, the Centaur Chieftain, once more has his eyes on the chicken. I won the roll to go first, and decided to go first. My thinking being that if I can move up into the midfield, he'll either have to declare some risky charges or hang back, which will allow my ambushing units to come on right in his rear. I also know he's going to be bringing a lot of magic and shooting, so it'd be nice to get my Clouded Eye totem off, rather than just take a round of it completely unprotected. So we move up, and to be honest, it's a bit messy. Not really a fan of that positioning. In the magic phase, he stops all my totems but one, so I get the gnarled hide off from these guys. Polkan has moved right up forwards and taken a pot shot at the demon chicken, but I rolled a 1. And he throws like a kid's sports day event. We go to Demon Warriors turn 1. The Sky Ray things charge Polkan, who flees. They fail their charge and end up in the river. One of them takes a dangerous terrain wound, and the other one is put up here as a bit difficult to place him. The Demon Prince came bellowing out of the woods and charged my chariot, who fled, causing the Prince to fail his charge. And I'm really annoyed now about my positioning with the Minotaurs and the hill, meaning I can't make the most of that. The rest of his centre just sits there, and then his flank moves up over here. In the magic phase, he casts some spells. Doesn't really do a lot, but then he uses pink horror or blue fire or something on my chariot and kills it. And I saved all my dice for no reason, because I thought he was going to place a great big template weapon or spell on my Minotaurs. Curse those tricksy demons. And that's a bit of a pain really, because my plan was to try to concentrate all my Minotaurs on this big unit here with his expensive characters and expensive warriors, and then munch through the rest of his centre and, these piddly things, whilst leading this flank off on a merry goose chase with my chariot, which is now dead. And now I'm in real danger of exposing my flank if I try what I was planning. In the shooting phase, the demons throw their magical non-flaming fire, take a couple of wounds off my chariot, take a couple of wounds off my Minotaurs, and we go into Beastmen at turn 2. At which point we remember his Hellfire rule and the chariot explodes. My ambushers both decide to come on, and I'm very happy about that. I stick the one with the Beast Banner behind his lines, behind these Flamers and his General's unit. If I get the opportunity, I'll combo charge the General's unit in the rear. If not, then I'll go after the Flamers and just try to stop them shooting at least. And I'm hopeful the combination of strength 4 and all the ranks should mean I can beat them. The other unit, I'm forced to change plans a bit and bring them on here, because I've got to keep this unit of warriors off my back for as long as possible, so no one can see or is in range to charge. Both my chariot and Polkan rally, which is great. I move these guys just to go sit in front of the warriors, and my opponent's got this wonderful narrow-eyed face that he pulls whenever I'm being a dick, and it's delicious. Mwahaha. Thinking about this a bit more carefully, I'm not sure I needed to do this, as I could have just sat them back perhaps, and had the threat of taking goats in the rear if he spends his time curling around slowly to get into position to take my Minotaurs. But anyway, this was fun. And this positioning here was pretty dreadful. I thought I was keeping these guys behind the hill to stop them from being fired at, but you know, they've got plenty of other targets for that. And these demons can still shoot them if they want. And it just means that I'm not going to be likely to be able to charge anything next turn, because the hill's blocking my line of sight. So yeah, that was pretty dumb. In the magic phase, he stops all my totems again, apart from one. Polkan's not in range to shoot, and so we go into Warrior Demons turn 2. A few charges. On the left, the Screamer things go into the chariot. There they are. I hold, because to run would be to run off the board, and I'm hopeful the chariot can hold them there, and Polkan can charge in and finish them next turn. He combo charges my goat, and that's not going to be pretty, but it's for the greater good. And yeah, in the centre, the warriors decide they've had enough of waiting and storm into my Minotaurs, and the Demon Prince decides he wants to go as well, and all kind of death is about to happen on that hill. In the magic phase, I stop Enchanted Blades, he gets off something that distracts me, and yeah, with all his wizards and zinchiness, yeah, his magic phases are unstoppable. So I predict this is going to hurt. Oh, everything had turned to look at this goat unit, and between magic and shooting they blasted off the table. Bugger. In this combat, the chariot takes a wound and kills one of, I think it kills the wounded sky thingy. Drawing combat. Good chariot. And yeah, over here, this goat horde is annihilated, and the chariot chases them down, and the warriors reform. Over in the main combat, the Demon Prince challenges, and my Minotaur Warlord, the one that isn't the general, accepts. And that Demon Prince's stat line is pretty terrifying. He does 2 wounds to my Minotaur. Oh yeah, because he's got a magic item that means he gets to re-roll failed to wound rolls, and I've got a magic item that makes him re-roll successful to wound rolls. So we figured they probably balanced out and we just rolled as normal. The demon and warrior weapons are holy or blessed or whatever they are, so I have to re-roll successful ward saves. So at the end of it all, my warlord takes 2 wounds. But in return, he just slaps the thing silly and kicks it back to the hell that spawned it. Fuck yeah. In the end, however, the rest of the unit gets munched by the warriors. We lose by something like 9 or 10. Auto flee, and this is, I think, was a mistake he chose not to pursue. And just sits there in the middle saying, and what? And to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to have what it takes to take him on, because these Minotaurs can't see him because their hill is blocking their sight. So I'm going to have to go at him one at a time, as the rest of his army encircles and shoots the shit out of us. So with a degree of dread, the goats enter turn 3, the Minotaurs fail to rally, and end with their tiptoes just on the board. There's a picture of my Minotaur units. This one clearly can't see this one, and so we declare a charge here. General on general. Bring it on, sir. These ones just back up a bit, I think, trying to face these guys. In combat, the chariot survives once more, takes a lot of damage though, and Polkan just makes a kebab out of the 2 flying things. What a dude. And at the end of the turn, things look like this, because yes, I very much underestimated what Minotaurs can do when the dice go in their favour. My Minotaur champion got into a challenge with his warlord, survived the duel with 1 wound remaining and even wounded the Chaos Lord. I think a promotion is in the works there. And between impact hits, a bajillion frenzied attacks and remembering my stomps, we carve our way through the unit. They auto flee. I'm in a beautiful position to overrun straight into the flamers where they can't stand and shoot me. And even if I don't catch these guys, then, you know, we're in, I'll kill them on his turn, and then back into these guys if they rally. But no, I rolled double ones. Still, can't complain too much, we were pretty lucky to get through that as unscathed as we were. My opponent's dice turned on him, and turned on him mean. Warrior Demons turn 3, his general's unit rallies, because why wouldn't they? And my Minotaurs are looking down the barrel of a whole lot of demonic firepower. Magic and shooting shreds my Minotaur general's unit, but the champion survives on 1 wound still. Oh, and I should mention, these Chaos Warriors failed their charge, which was terrible luck. Beastherds turn 4, let's do this. Both units of Minotaurs charge headlong into their mortal adversaries. These Minotaurs rallied, thankfully, but I think I forgot to move them at some point. Chariot moves up to support, for whatever good that's going to do. And Polkan runs over here to have a crack at this chariot. In the magic phase, I managed to get off the gnarled hide on these guys. Takes 5 dice to do it. Polkan throws his spear, it strikes true! But I only roll 1 wound on the chariot. Sigh. It could be barbecue time next turn. But in probably slightly more significant news, the Minotaurs trounce the warriors, but still can't catch them when they flee. And over at the main event, our impact hits cull the unworthy non-characters, and the two generals face off. And finally I have a general with bigger horns than the Chaos General. Small things. And it's a mighty struggle. The warrior, Chaos Lord person, carves a chunk out of the Minotaur and he takes a wound. In return, Heartache, the Minotaur, headbutts the warrior general thing down to his last wound. Sadly, the Minotaur champion falls to the Chaos Sorcerer before he can swing, but he had a good game. But in the end, the stomp does it. And Heartache lifts his gory trophy high. Hells the fuck yeah! The unit's out of BSB range again, fails its morale test and runs, stays on the board, and I fail to catch them. Come on. Warrior Demon's turn. The Chaos Warriors fail to rally and run a little bit further. The Sorcerer and his champion companion rally right on the edge of the table. And everyone turns to look at the Minotaur General. He takes a hellstorm of magic and shooting, but toughness 6 for the win. I only take 1 wound, it looks like. The Chariot gets a shot through and wounds Pulkin, and the plucky Centaur dies to the Hellfire, which ignores every save, apparently. It's really good at just plinking off things. So we're going to Beastherds turn 5. The Minotaurs charge the Chaos Warriors off the table, and Heartache, the Doomball, charges for a final time into the Sorcerer. I'm gonna get those points. My Minotaurs, who I remember are still on the table, move around behind the tower thing to keep their points safe. At the end of the combat, impact hits kill the champion. The Sorcerer and the Minotaur go Simo. The Sorcerer does actually manage to wound my general before being ploughed under. And I then take a wound from the Hellfire, which puts me on a single wound remaining. But then I overrun off the board to safety. And there he is, taking a time out after having carved his way across an entire battlefield. So what's this? Demon Warriors turn 5, not a lot else to do. The Chariot and the Horrors fire at the Minotaurs. I'm not sure they did any damage. Maybe they killed a Minotaur, I can't remember. And the Flamers halve the wounds of the Chariot. Or maybe they only did 1. Anyway, it should have died and didn't. But in Beastherds turn 6, I decide, hell with it, I'm going to charge them, and they kill it with their stand and shoot. And to be honest, not a lot happens this turn. The Minotaurs just turn around, these ones are still hiding safe, and my general comes back on and runs for his life and hides just in the forest. 1 wound remaining. Can he survive the final turn of fire? Demon Warriors turn 6, yes he can. In all, I think he takes about 30 hits, or 30 shots anyway. And the few that slipped past his toughness 6 I managed to save. Jammy as hell. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the game. Brilliant fun. And Tigris, as always, is a pleasure to play. To be honest, I didn't play very well at the start of this game, and it took a bit of lucky dice swinging in my favour for it to swing back like it did. Loved what my Minotaur characters could do this game. They all of them really performed. But I think my general has to take the biscuit there. Hilarious for me, as I'm sure it was frustrating for my opponent. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.